of all people, Dr. Welker, not having enough sense to stay at home with a cold.
The older I get, the more my patients nag me instead of me them.
3 fingers of brandy for you. That's my remedy for what ails you. Now, you've got to follow my prescription for a change.
Oh, Diane, what a lovely party. And you look absolutely magnificent.
Thank you, Alice.
Diane always looks magnificent. As a matter of fact, I'd say smashing.
That's why I never give a party without you two. Oh, excuse me. Miriam, you old darling. There for a minute. I thought you weren't going to come.
Diane, don't you know better than to say old to divorcee trying to score for the 4th time?
I thought you and Greg had already settled on being married.
Shh, not so loud. I haven't told him yet.
You're impossible.
At least I'm always in there swinging. But you, Diane, are doomed to drink your loving cups alone for the rest of your life.
Now, don't start playing marriage broker.
I'm only trying to be a pal. How in heaven's name do you ever expect to land another man if the first thing the poor fellow sees when he comes in this mausoleum is that thing staring out at him?
Yes, I guess I should move it. I will one day.
Where's Gwen? Oh, no. That can't be your little niece from San Francisco.
Hi, Aunt Diane.
Gwen, where have you been?
I just went to freshen up. Hi, Miriam. It's good to see you again.
It can't be more than 3 years since your last visit here to Lake Crispell. And look at you.
She brought her boyfriend, too. They're going to spend a couple of weeks with me. By the way, where is David? Isn't it about time I met him?
He went into the village on some business. I thought he'd be back by now. There he is.
Hi. Sorry I'm late. You must be Diane.
Yes.
Gwen has told me so much about you. I feel like we've known each other for a long time.
David, this is Miriam Powers, a friend of Diane's.
It's uncanny, absolutely uncanny.
Afraid I don't understand. Something wrong?
Diane, don't tell me that you don't see the resemblance. It's positively chilling.
I knew there was something familiar. You're right.
Hey, what is this? A gag or something?
No, David. That's my Uncle Thomas.
It's a self-portrait that he did not long before he died.
He was a very good artist.
David's an artist, too.
Oh, now, you really must be joking.
Sorry, but it's true. Matter of fact, I was just in the village trying to get the gallery there to show some of my stuff.
Wherever did you meet this young man, Gwen?
He's a senior at Rutledge. We were in an art history class together. Oh, Diane, that reminds me. The books. I promised David I'd show him Thomas's art book collection.
Oh, yes, of course. In the library.
Nice to meet you.
Darling, let me get you a little stronger drink.
I have to talk to you, Diane.
What? What is it?
Well, not here. It's important and private.
Well, let me freshen up. I'll meet you outside.
Alice, Seth, I want you to meet a very dear friend of mine, Joseph.
Oh, Miriam, we've done it again.
California Meridian Insurance in for a big payoff on the dock?
With the double indemnity clause for accidental deaths, $200,000.
Oh, Doc, well, he didn't have an enemy in the world. All I'm trying to say is, well, it's almighty puzzling. Look, I've got a squad meeting, so you don't need me.
Sure, we'll just poke around a little longer.
If you come up with something, let me know.
I didn't mean to startle you.
What is it you want?
There's some people downstairs. Outside.
Sheriff Anderson said there would be some investigators from the insurance company.
This is where it happened, isn't it?
You've never been in the studio before?
No. When I would visit as a kid, I was too afraid.
Thomas was working on that the night he was murdered, 20 years ago.
Such awful memories. Why don't you change it? Redecorate.
It's Dave.
Diane, you don't really think David looks that much like Thomas, do you?
What's wrong with that? Thomas was my whole life.
I wish I could tell you more, but I was in the library with Gwen when they found the body.
Where is the library?
Towards the back of the house.
And you didn't hear the crash of that pot hitting the ground?
I heard a lot of things in the library. Noises from the party and the wind.
Anyway, the library is on the other side of the house, away from where the accident happened. I am Diane Magnus. How do you do, Mr. Jones?
How do you do? This is my associate, Jedediah Jones.
How do you do? My niece, Gwen Wardlow. Aside from being my personal physician for I can't tell you how long, Dr. Welker was also a very dear friend of mine. So anything I can do to help you with your report, please let me know.
Well, just a couple of questions. I understand that you were the last person to talk to the doctor before he went outside.
Yes, he said he wanted to talk to me alone.
And then 4 or 5 minutes later, you went outside looking for him, according to the report.
I had a headache. I went to my room for some aspirin.
You have any idea what the doctor wanted to talk to you about?
No, he probably just wanted to scold me for not having my yearly physical.
Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Mangus. If there's anything else, we'll be in touch with you.
Anytime. Well, anyone for lunch?
Sounds great. But if you don't mind, I want to take Gwen into the village. Something I want to show her. That gallery has decided to hang some of my pictures.
Oh, David, that's marvelous. You don't mind, do you?
Oh, of course not. As a matter of fact, I'd like to go with you. I'd like to see some of your paintings.
Then what are we waiting for? Come on. Miss Wilson.
David! Oh, I know I said I'd make you famous, but you've got to give me more time than this.
Oh, I just wanted Gwen and Diane to see your place.
See his paintings hanging on a gallery wall, he means.
Very nice. But none as good as David's. He's a real find.
Which ones are David's?
None of these. You haven't hung them yet?
I haven't had a chance to. They're over here. Superb, isn't it?
Hello? Are you the people from the insurance company who called yesterday?
Right, you must be Karen. J.R. Jones, how are you? This is Barnaby Jones?
How do you do? I hope we're not intruding on your lunchtime.
Well, that's okay. Since Doc Welker died, all that's left for me to do around here is close out his practice.
You worked for the doctor a long time.
A little over 3 years.
Then you ought to know whether there was anything unsettling him, any personal problem.
He seemed okay to me.
There's this notation in the sheriff's report, something about a break-in on the night the doctor died.
Yeah, the report indicated that some narcotics were stolen.
Hopped up drug addicts, probably, who were passing through town. We get them once in a while. Well, they sure went out of their way to make a mess of things.
Why out of their way?
They tore through the old file room looking for the stuff. We've never even kept drugs back there.
You mind if we take a look?
I guess I should clean it up, but with the sheriff and his men checking, I didn't want to destroy any evidence.
If it was a drug addict who broke in, he certainly left a lot of morphine-based drugs behind.
Barnaby! Look at this. This cord has been cut.
Karen, you have any idea who might want to get into these filing cases?
They're just medical records from 15 to 20 years old. I wouldn't have the foggiest idea.
Yeah, but look what else. See, these case files are numbered here. See? 473, 474, 475, 477. Case file 476 is missing.
Old medical record? Why would anybody steal that?
15, 20 years ago. About the time of that unsolved murder.
Thomas Mangus. There's got to be a connection here, Barnaby.
Bear's looking at them.
Did you always want to be an artist, David?
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah. For as long as I can remember, I guess. My father taught art, you know.
May I?
Where's Gwen?
Oh, she's in the village doing some shopping.
Diane. I seem to have opened some old wounds. I'm sorry if I've upset you.
Because you look like Thomas. He was a very handsome man. You should consider it a compliment to be compared to him.
Yeah, but, paint like him, too. Sort of shakes a fella up.
Are you sure you've never been to Lake Crispell before?
Mm-mm. Never.
The flowers in the painting in the gallery, they seem to grow mostly around here. Have you seen them in a book or photograph?
I might have. Maybe I saw him in a dream.
A dream?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I see things in dreams. Don't know how to explain it, but I do. Oh,
Do your headaches always bother you so much?
but they pass.
Here, just relax. I haven't done this for anybody for a long time. Not since...
You do have the touch, all right.
I used to be quite good at this. About those dreams, when did you see the flowers first? Was it a long time ago?
I don't know. Was there ever an island out there?
No, why?
In this one dream, I remember I saw a lake. Flowers. Yeah. They were growing wild on an island in the lake. And there was an odd rock formation and a large tree.
And the tree, did it hang out over the lake?
And it had a swing on it. No. It was an old tire hanging from a rope, hanging from a tree.
So the swimmers could swing out and drop themselves into the lake. That's Boulder Point. And it wasn't an island. It was a piece of land that jutted out into the lake over there.
Where? I don't see it.
Well, it's not there now. They removed it to widen the lake, but that was 18 years ago. How could you have known that?
I don't know. Hey, are you all right?
Just cold.
I better go in.
This coroner's report on Thomas Mangus. Why wasn't it handled by Dr. Welker? He was a local medical examiner, wasn't he?
Well, if I remember correctly, we farmed that autopsy out to the coroner at San Bernardino. Doc was out of town at the time.
Well, then the missing report from Dr. Welker's office couldn't have been about the Mangus murder.
Right. Anyhow, there's nothing unusual about a doctor or his nurse taking a patient's file out of the record for some reason and then forgetting to put it back in the right place.
Who was his nurse in those days?
Barnaby, you really put a man's memory to the test. Connie Graham. She's retired. Moved away from these parts years ago.
You know anybody who might be able to find her?
Well, Rose McCarty might. They were pretty close friends.
Is she still in town?
Yeah, works in the library. Right across that way.
I think I'll go have a talk with her. Thank you, Sheriff. Well, thank you very much. And when I see Miss Graham, I'll definitely give her your regards. Need some help?
Hi, JR. Thanks.
Where's your boyfriend?
David?
Is there more than one?
Well, he's out by the lake or somewhere.
Well, he's taking a chance, isn't he? Letting a pretty chick like you run around loose, huh?
Thanks, I needed that.
You two having problems?
No, it's all right.
Well, that reminds me. A friend of your aunt's, Miriam Powers, mentioned something about David looking exactly like a portrait of Thomas Mangus. What is that about?
It's true. He has a bizarre resemblance to my uncle. So much so it freaked out a few people at the party.
Really?
What's more, David even paints like my uncle.
He paints like him.
He has a painting hanging over there at the village gallery that is the exact twin of the one my uncle was painting the night he was murdered.
That is bizarre. What does your aunt think about all this?
Well, she tries not to show it, but she's pretty shaken up by it. Me too.
Diana, I've been thinking. Maybe, David and I should fold up our tent and move on.
Leave? Why?
Well, with the maid being sick and all, it's just been too much work for you. Maybe we could go to Yosemite, spend the rest of the summer backpacking.
Well, whatever you and David want. You're no problem as far as I'm concerned.
We'll talk about it later, okay?
Yeah, sure. I'll get us some more coffee.
Maybe she's right. Maybe we should leave.
David, I want to show you something. Come in. I want to see what you think of this. If you decide to stay here, this could be your studio. Would you like that?
The Flowers of Xanadu.
How could you know that's what Thomas named it?
Gwen must have told me.
How could Gwen know he called it the Flowers of Xanadu? I never told her. I never told anyone. David, how did you know?
God, what have I done?
What is it?
What are you doing here?
David, what's happening? Are you all right?
I told you never to come into my house again. What are you doing with that knife? Put it away. What are you, crazy? No. No! No. Don't. Don't kill me.
Thomas. Thomas. It's all right. You're safe now. Who was it? Could you see who it was? You've come back to me, Thomas. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
This picture Gwen told you about?
Must be. It's kind of a kinky sort of style, isn't it?
I imagine they said the same thing about Chagall, Dali, Picasso.
A very astute observation, Mr.
Jones.
Oh, Estelle Wilson.
How do you do? I don't mean to try to pass myself off as an art expert, but looks like a fair sample. The kind of work came out of the 50s and 60s.
Yes. David Burke is following in a very fine tradition.
You know anything about him?
He came in 2 or 3 days ago, showed me his paintings. That's all I needed to know.
Do you have any idea when he painted this?
It isn't completely dried through, so it had to be within the last 3 to 6 weeks. But believe me, at $350, it's a steal.
Well, I'll think about it. Unless, of course...
I'll give it some thought, too. Thank you very much for your time, Miss Wilson.
Please, come back anytime.
Thank you.
Did it. How about that, huh? And on the first try.
They said you'd never sailed before. An admiral couldn't have done it better.
No, Diane. How many times I gotta tell you, you figure 8 the rope when you're tying off a boat.
Yes, Thomas, a figure 8. You always told me that.
Diane, this is all getting a little out of hand, isn't it?
Please don't. This has been one of the most wonderful days of my life. Don't spoil it for me.
It's been a really marvelous day for me, too. After what happened last night,
There you go again.
Come on, Diane. People are not reborn. Well, spiritually, maybe, but not physically. I mean, this reincarnation stuff it's a heavy trip.
Tell me something. Do you like being with me?
Yes, very much.
And are you? So it doesn't really make any difference who I think you are, does it?
Yes, it does. Because whatever happens, I want it to be me.
It is you.
Gwen!
Yes. What is it?
I'd like to talk to David. Is he around?
David?
What's the matter? You having boyfriend problems again?
It's unreal. You're not going to believe it, but it's true. She's taking him away from me.
You can't be talking about David and your aunt.
Yeah. And she's almost twice as old as he is.
Gwen, are you sure you're not just imagining this?
No. Diane's living in some sort of a fantasy world. Honestly, she actually believes that David is the reincarnation of Thomas Mangus. Now, if that isn't the most unreal thing you've ever heard, I don't know what is.
Gwen! You should have the common decency to keep family matters inside the family instead of discussing it with strangers. You wanted to talk to me, Mr. Jones?
Well, actually, we wanted to talk to David.
Yeah, what we'd like to do is nail down exactly where everybody was at the time of Dr. Welker's death.
I've already told you where I was. I was up in the library with Gwen.
Yes, a look at the art books. However, when Miriam Powers went by the library about that time, she said that the only person she saw in there was Gwen.
Exactly what are you implying by that? Gwen?
Is that true, Gwen? Were you with David up until the time you heard about Dr. Welker?
No. After a moment, David said his headache was getting worse, and he went to a back bedroom to lie down. He was alone.
That may be. But you don't have to make it sound like you just caught Jack the Ripper in a lie. You don't hate me that much, do you?
Thank you. Hi. I was beginning to think that perhaps you wouldn't get the message I left for you at the motel.
What's the matter? You afraid you wouldn't get here in enough time to pay the check?
I see you've gotten rid of your city cough.
Isn't it miraculous, Barnaby? I mean, what good mountain air. Yeah, right. David Burke. Well, actually, there wasn't much to learn about him.
Didn't even have a police record? People at Rutledge University come up with anything?
Well, they are still checking, but if a Professor Burke ever taught art at the university, they don't have a record of it.
Well, something tells me this David guy is a phony baloney all the way.
Well, if he is, he certainly was telling the truth about living near the university. His mother just gave up the house that they had rented and moved away a few months ago.
Anybody know where she went?
I didn't have time to do a follow-up on her.
Did you have any better luck with Dr. Welker's old nurse?
Got the brass ring there. Connie Graham moved back to live with her sister in Ridge Valley, about 18 miles up the road to Lake Vesper.
Let's you and I have a talk with that lady. Jedediah, get on the phone, see if you can get a line on David's mother, where she can be reached.
See you later.
See ya.
Hello? We're in Las Vegas.
Darling, who are you talking to?
I, figured an occasion like this calls for champagne.
I'll be right out.
We did it. We got married.
David, you've made me very happy.
Said he wasn't about to take his clothes off in the presence of a woman, even if I was the doctor's nurse, unless we were on intimate terms. Yes, sir. That Thomas had a way with the girls.
Ma'am, we've already established that the missing file had nothing to do with Thomas's murder. Now, can you think of any reason why anyone would have gone to all the trouble of stealing it from the doctor's office? Whatever it is, must have had something to do with Thomas Mangus, either a birth, a death, an accident.
Something to do with Thomas. Hold it. Stop the presses. A birth. Yes, that could have been it. This illegitimate baby the doctor delivered.
An illegitimate child?
What did that have to do with Magnus?
He paid for it.
Oh. Who was the mother?
Poor thing. Her name was Rosalind. Young, 17 or so. A waitress in the village cafe.
Was the boy or a girl?
A boy. Pretty little fellow.
Was Mangus the father?
Doesn't have to be his mistake for him to have paid the bills. Could have been for a friend. Anyway, Thomas was killed a few weeks later, so I guess we'll never know.
What about the boy and the mother? What happened to them?
Well, as soon as she was on her feet, Rosalind took the baby and left town. The shame of it, you know. Never saw either of them again.
Do you remember what Rosalind's last name was?
No. But it would be in that missing file if you can find it.
I don't think there's much chance of that. Can you think of anything that might give us a lead? Do you have any ambitions? Anything odd about her?
Odd? She wanted to be an artist, if you call that odd. Some do. And yes, there was something else in that file about her leg. She broke her ankle in an auto accident. It never healed, and she wound up with a limp.
The lady that recently opened the art gallery in the village walks with a limp.
Gwen, darling. Wish us luck. Wish us mountains of luck.
What happened?
Thomas and... Well, you'll never believe this, but we got married. See?
You what?
Yes, we flew to Las Vegas. It all happened so suddenly. Oh, Gwen, don't look at me like that. I know how you must feel, but please, be happy for me.
Yes. Well, you need all the luck you can get.
You're leaving? Oh, you don't have to go.
Get off it, Diane.
Well, she rents an apartment in the back, but she's just not home now. Gwen! Wait a minute! Where are you going? What, are you leaving town?
I seem to have outworn my welcome, or vice versa. How's your investigation coming?
Well, it's coming. It's coming. Let me ask you something. Did you ever see David with the lady who runs the art gallery before she came to Lake Crispell?
No. But if that's who you're looking for, I think you will find her up at the Mangus house.
Are you sure?
I just passed her on the road. She is probably going up there to congratulate her star artist on snagging himself a rich wife.
Wife? What are you talking about?
David and Diane. They got married last night.
We better get right up there. Betty, tell the sheriff to meet us at the Mangus house.
David? I really don't feel like going sailing right now. Can't we go out on the lake after lunch? Wait for me! David? David! What kind of a crazy game are you playing? Listen, if you're trying to frighten me, you're certainly doing a good job. David? David!
Barnaby? How about that, huh?
What are you doing here? How dare you come into my house uninvited?
Where's Diane?
I don't know. She's out.
With your mother?
My what?
Rosalind Vickers, a waitress in the village until she changed her name, moved to a house near Rutledge University with her newborn son. We've done a lot of checking, Dave.
Get out of my house!
All right, just take it easy.
It's all right, son. We don't want to harm you. We just want to know where Diane and your mother are.
Diane murdered him. And she is going to pay.
You believe that Diane murdered your father? Thomas Mangus was your father, wasn't he?
No. Me. She murdered me!
All right, David, come on. It's all over.
Please, go away.
Where are they, David?
Barnaby. Let's go. Come on, David. Come on.
Why are you telling me these awful lies?
It's true. What I've told you is true. When Thomas found out I was pregnant, his feelings about me changed. He'd never marry me, he said, because he would never leave you. But it was I who had his son.
No, no more, please, please.
And then that night, I came to the house, pleaded with him one last time for the sake of my son. He offered me money. Anything but what I wanted. A father for my son.
You killed him.
Yes. And then as David grew older, I began to see how much like Thomas he looked.
Is that when the idea came to you, Rosalind?
Stay back!
Is that when you started filling David's head with dreams of someday claiming his birthright? The Mangus name and everything that goes with it?
It was all so easy. Thomas used to come to me, tell me everything, every intimate detail. I know more about you and your life than you did.
And you used it all to destroy your son's life. Look at him. Look what you've done to him. Look what you've made him into.
David, don't listen to them. David, I did it for you. I did it all for you.
In her statement to the sheriff, David's mother said that on the night of the party, she was standing out here watching.
Poor Dr. Welker. Why did she have to kill him?
Because he was the only one who knew why David looked so much like your husband.
And then after that, thinking that there would be an investigation, she broke into the doctor's office and stole the file on David's birth.
I just came from the sheriff's office. When I heard what happened, I tried to see David, but they wouldn't let me.
Gwen, I've treated you so badly. Please forgive me.
I understand a lot of things now. If it's okay with you, I'd like to spend the rest of the summer with you.
I'd like that very much.
And we'll be leaving you both in good hands. Each other's.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Thank you both.
Who is it?
Come on, who's there?
Hi. My name's Betty Jones. You looking for somebody? guess you're surprised to see somebody here. I know the cottage has been locked up for a long time. I inherited it from my aunt. Louise. Louise Norton? Did you know her? Hey, if you're interested, I'd be more than happy to pay you if you'd help me, you know. Well, listen, I gotta get inside. Got a lot of things to take care of.
Will?
Don't sneak up on me like that. What? Woman? Hurt? Where? With the old Norton place? Give me a hand with it.
No.
Easy. Nobody's gonna hurt you. You cut your arm. Just lie still and you'll be all right.
Where's the...
You're right, she got hit pretty hard. Could have a concussion. Well, I'm gonna need some things. Now pick him up at Clooney's. My place is too far. And, take my rig, huh?
You don't get many bikers through here. Where are you headed?
Nowhere. Just seeing the country. Is this stuff any good?
Well, it depends on how bad your indigestion is. Some swear by it, some don't.
Got anything better?
Nope.
Maybe I better see the doc. Where's he hang out?
Culverton, about 50 miles south of here.
You gotta be kidding.
Well, we used to have a doctor, but he passed away a few years back. We haven't had anybody since. I guess there's not enough money in these small towns for these modern fellas.
What do you do if someone gets hurt real bad?
The best we can. Have a good trip.
Yeah.
Hiya, Will. What do you need now? Some fish hooks or shells? Oh, something for Doc. Who's hurt? Well, don't forget about old man Jameson. Tell Doc the headaches are bad again.
So how long's that gonna take?
Well, maybe 20 minutes, as soon as I get it back together.
I'll get it! Ace Machine Shop.
Foster, it's Stan. He's here at Circle Bluffs, just like I told you it would be.
Are you sure this time? We can't afford to miss another couple days' work from nothing.
You want me to handle it alone?
No. No way. We'll be there.
Stan's lead payoff?
Yeah. That's what he says. Come on, let's go.
Now
hope he's right this time. I'm tired of chasing all over the country.
You and me both. Mike, we're splitting for a couple of days. You're in charge, okay?
I gotta talk to Betty about her handwriting.
She seems to have finished the Wilson report. Over the cost sheet. We'll have to do that.
Cost sheet? Oh, Barnaby, do you know how hard it is to type a column of figures and keep it straight?
And Jedediah, I think if you set your mind to it, you can rise to the challenge.
Thanks. You know, they can put a man on the moon, but we still have to type with our fingers. Pagion. Pagion. What's a pagion?
A what?
Pagion. Pageone.
It's page 1.
Ah, why did Betty have to pick now to fix up that cottage?
Seemed to me you're the one who told her now's the time to sell.
Yeah, I got a big mouth, I admit it.
Long drive up there. The mountain air will do her good. I hope she got there all right.
Well, if you're worried about her, why don't you give her a call?
Because there's no phone in the cabin.
Well, she's a big girl. She can take care of herself. Which reminds me, I got a date tonight. Better get this cryptogram done.
Lie down. Lie down. You're in no shape to go dancing yet.
Ooh. What happened to me?
Lacerated arm, skull contusion, maybe a concussion. Your rain gutter fell on you.
Oh. Are you a doctor?
Just a neighbor who knows a little first aid.
Thank you. All I can remember is that, strange, silent boy.
That's Will. The way you conked yourself sure put a scare into it.
Him? He never answered me. I talked to him and he just stared.
He can't talk. He's mute.
Oh.
And he stared because you're so pretty.
You haven't told me your name.
It's Paul Tierney.
I'm Betty Jones.
Hi.
That smells good.
It smells good. It is good. It's all the way you open the can. Lie down.
I think I can feed myself.
Just complete rest for a bit, okay?
All right. Oh, that is good. I haven't been fed like this since I was a little girl.
Come on, swallow.
Oh, golly, I have got to go into town and make a call.
You're not going anywhere. Neither am I. I'm staying the night.
Oh, I don't think so.
Look, you may have a concussion and somebody has to wake you every 2 hours. Swallow.
I heard the south end of the lake has the best fishing.
No more. It was fished out a long time ago. Only tourists go there now.
Where the regulars go?
The North Shore. Jameson's Cove, that's the best place. Are you planning on doing some fishing?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see any tackle on that motorcycle of yours.
Well, I'm gonna borrow it from an old buddy of mine. He lives around here, but I can't seem to locate him.
What's his name? Maybe I know him.
Well, his real name's Dwayne Nichols, but I think he's going by something else. See, he's got alimony trouble.
Dwayne Nichols. No, it doesn't ring a bell.
Well, he's about 35, 6 feet tall, light brown hair. He's good looking. Great fisherman.
A lot of great fishermen around here.
Evening.
Evening, Harv.
You shouldn't be drinking that.
What?
Nobody ever cured their indigestion with beer.
Oh, yeah. That medicine you sold me was great stuff. Fixed me right up.
The last call. Order up if you want another round.
That's enough for me. I'm gonna hit the sack. See you later.
What was he talking about?
Bishop, why?
He didn't ask you about Doc.
No, he was talking about some guy named Dwayne Nichols. Thought he lived here.
What did he say this Nichols looked like?
Tall, about 35, light brown hair. Hey, come to think of it, that could be Doc. You think it is?
I don't know. He was questioning Haskins about a fella like that, and he asked me about Doc. Harry, I got a feeling he means trouble. Maybe big trouble.
Oh, good morning. It's Will, isn't it? Where's Paul? Oh, I was afraid he might have left. I'd like to thank you for yesterday. It was very kind of you to run and get Paul. Thank you. How soon, you gonna be ready with breakfast? I'm starved. 5 minutes? Oh, great. He hasn't eaten yet, has he? Okay, well, I'll go get washed up.
And he's not the type to like scenery. I can't figure why he's sticking around.
What's he look like?
Husky fella, tough looking. Walks with a little limp.
His right leg?
You know him?
I might.
I knew it. Trouble, right?
Could be. Thanks for warning me, Harv.
We'll keep an eye on him for you.
Thanks again, Harv.
No thanks needed. That's the least we can do, Doc.
Good morning.
How you feeling?
Oh, much better, thanks to you.
No headache, dizziness?
Just a touch of the hungries. Come on in and eat. Will has breakfast ready.
No, I can't. There's somebody I have to see.
You stay with her, Will. If she gets drowsy, find me.
You, eat a good breakfast. Take it easy the rest of the day. There could still be complications.
Paul, you haven't given me a chance to thank you for last night.
Everybody up here helps each other.
There's something wrong, isn't there? Is it because you've given up something you had to do to help me?
No, of course not.
When will you be back?
I don't know.
Will, how's about you and me driving into town after breakfast for some groceries, huh? I think I'm gonna stay here for a couple of days.
You made good time. Better believe it. We've been rolling most of the night.
What's happening? The kid. Here's our ticket to Doc. Tell Reed he's finished eating.
Will, did you use all the eggs this morning? Will, I'd like to fix Paul something special. I mean, if he does come back for dinner. What's his favorite dish? Excuse me, I'm sorry, but I know you're a friend of Paul's, and, well, I wanted to fix him something special for dinner tonight, and I just wondered if he ever mentioned anything that he really liked.
Lady, I'm afraid I don't know anybody named Paul. You, George?
Sure don't.
Paul Tierney? I could have sworn I saw you talking with him at my cottage this morning.
You must be thinking of somebody else. I haven't been out of the store all day.
Will, find Doc. Tell him there's 3 of those bikers in town looking for him now. No time to explain. Just do it. And make sure nobody follows you.
Look, I know it was you.
Are you sure you're not just imagining it, lady?
All right, fellas. I am perfectly willing to go along with the joke just like anybody else. But you are never going to be able to convince me that you don't know Paul. I mean, he's got to do his shopping here.
All these little towns look alike. You're probably thinking of someplace else.
Come on. Will lives with him. Will?
He left a couple of minutes ago.
Will? Where'd he go? Look, I know something's going on. What is it?
Nothing, lady, nothing.
You just lost yourself a customer.
Maybe we should have just warned her to keep quiet.
How do we know we can trust her?
I'm sorry I haven't called you sooner, Barnaby. I really just haven't had time. How's everything going there?
Well, that's all right. We're getting along fine. You would be surprised at the kind of work JR is turning out. All the reports are finished, and he's finishing up with a cost sheet now.
Oh, that's great. I was afraid that maybe you two fellows would have a little trouble there. Listen, Barnaby, if you could do me a favor, I'd really appreciate it. It shouldn't take more than a couple of phone calls.
Sure, what is it?
I'd like you to check out a name for me. Paul Tierney.
Paul Tierney. There might be a lot of Paul Tierneys. You got a middle initial?
I don't know. I just met him last night. He's about 6'1", light brown hair, around 35. He may be a doctor. You can check him out that way.
Sounds like you got a live one. What does he look like, Redford or Newman?
A little of both.
Ah, now I know what you want Barnaby to do. You want us to find out if he's married.
No, JR, that's not what I want to know. Now, it's just that, I don't know, there's some sort of mystery about him.
Betty, is there something funny going on?
Oh, no, Barnaby. I'm sorry if I gave you that impression. No, it's just, no, I'm just curious, that's all.
All right. What's your number up there?
555-2368.
I'll call you at 12:30.
All righty, that'll be swell. Thanks.
Where'd he go? I don't know. Only a jackrabbit can make it up that way.
Doesn't make any difference. He's not the only one in town who can peg Doc. There's a woman knows him.
There better be. I'm getting sick of this whole thing.
It's been hanging over us too long. Don't worry. Just turn to die. And I'll make sure he doesn't miss it.
Need an operation, Tom.
Operation? Too many people die in hospitals, Doc. Had a cousin once. Young fella. Just had a sore arm.
What's the real reason that you don't want to go? Money?
Well, yeah. Business ain't been too good lately. Matter of fact, I don't know how I'm gonna pay you for this.
Oh, come on, you don't have to. Well, something happened to Betty? Motorcycles. There are 3 bikes now. Yeah, they're looking for me. Where's Betty? Did they see you with Betty? No, well, never mind about me. You get back to Betty and stay with her. Tom, I have to run.
Yeah.
I don't want you to worry about this. You know, we'll get you taken care of, huh?
Okay, thanks, Doc.
Hi there. Beautiful day.
Usually is this time of year. What do you have?
Well, I don't know, something tall and cool.
Name it.
Well, I know.
That's her.
I'll have that drink that Doc likes.
Who?
Doc, Paul Tierney.
Sorry, lady. Don't know the fellow. He must do his drinking someplace else.
Look, I don't know what's going on here, but he was very kind to me, and Please. I have been up and down this block twice. No one will tell me anything.
You want a drink or not?
No, thank you.
All right, I got it. Excuse me, miss? Hey, miss? Miss?
No.
Excuse me. Don't mean to come on strong, but couldn't help but hear the runaround they're giving you back in there. They've been giving me the same thing. I'm looking for Doc, too.
Oh, well, thank heavens. I'm glad there's at least one other person who will even admit that he exists. Do you know what's going on? Why are they all lying?
You got me. He must be in some kind of trouble. I'd sure like to help him. He's an old school buddy.
School? Was it medical school? He is a doctor, isn't he?
Yeah? I guess you could call him that. I'd like to surprise him. Would you take me over to his place?
Sorry, I don't know where he lives. I only met him last night. I injured my arm, and he came to my cottage and helped me.
I guess he'll be coming back to change the bandage. Maybe I could meet him then.
I don't know when that'll be. Tell me your name, and then when I see him, I'll tell him you're in town.
That would spoil the surprise. I drove all this way just to see the expression on his face.
Excuse me, I think that's from me. Barnaby, would you please run that by me just one more time?
There was a Dr. Paul Tierney in Circle Bluff. He died 5 years ago.
That's impossible. I saw him this morning.
Betty, didn't you tell me the man that you met was about 35?
Yes?
Well, the Dr. Tierney who died was 81.
81?
So obviously, we're talking about 2 different people.
Of course. Barnaby, the man I met was his son.
According to the record, Dr. Tierney had no family.
Well, there's got to be some mistake. And I just talked to a school friend of Paul's, but he didn't look any older than 30.
Well, maybe the school friend is a phony, too. There's no mistake about this, Betty. We double-checked.
Well, if there's no Paul Tierney, then who bandaged my arm last night?
Your arm? What's the matter with your arm?
Betty's hurt?
It's just a small cut, nothing serious.
Betty, I get the feeling that there is something funny going on up there. Why don't you come home?
I can't. Not until I find out what this is all about.
Then I'm coming up. Give me all the details you can. I'll have Jedediah do some more checking.
I have told you all I know about Paul.
What about that school friend? Did you get his name?
No, I didn't. He's with 2 other fellows. They're all on motorcycles. I can give you their license numbers. Maybe you can, check them out that way. California license 545169 and 9Z9951.
Now, you go back to the cabin Sit tight till I get there.
What took you so long to get here?
Well, I was followed by a man on a motorcycle.
All right, you're getting out of here right now.
Oh, Paul, please. Please tell me what this is all about.
It doesn't concern you.
You helped me. Please, let me help you.
You can't. Nobody can.
Please tell me what kind of trouble you're in.
Listen, if you're into some bookies for heavy bread, I'll break open my piggy bank.
You'd empty your bank, huh?
Yeah.
You'd do that for me?
Yes.
If I had a glass slipper, I bet your foot would fit into it.
Please tell me.
But if I had a glass slipper, with my luck, it'd break. Keep an eye on the princess, will you?
What are you going to do?
This thing's gone too far. I'm going to put an end to it.
Well, then take me with you. Please.
You are, you know. A real princess. Now pack your bags and get out of here.
Where have you been? We've been wheeling all over the mountains looking for you.
What happened? Looks like you wiped out. I did. I was chasing Doc. I would have had him if I hadn't wiped out in his gravel.
You know where he went?
No. I spotted him coming out this side road down here. Help me haul my bike up. I'll see what's down at the end of it.
Will, you have got to tell me what kind of trouble Paul's in. Please, I want to help. At least tell me what those 3 men want. Will, I have a friend coming from Los Angeles, a private detective. But he's not going to be able to help unless we... I can't. Will, please. I'm holding you back. You go on. You've got to. You're all of you. Get help.
Hey, the kid's getting away.
Let him. He'll bring back Doc.
Who are you? What do you want with him?
We want justice.
Yeah. We're gonna blow him away.
I tracked them down from their license plates, Doctor. The guy at the bike shop said that they were just released from here a few months ago.
Sure, I remember Foster and Reed, but there were 3 of them. Stan Evans was part of the group, too. We had to rebuild his knee joint. He took some shrapnel in Nam.
Well, could you give me a rundown on them? It's very important.
Well, from the time they left Nam, they've only had one thing in mind. That's to find Dr. Dwayne Nichols. It's an obsession with him.
Dwayne Nichols, who is that?
They were all 3 wounded in action. Nichols was one of the doctors who took care of them in the field. One of the best young surgeons who ever served under me.
Well, why are they looking for him?
It's not a pretty story. And the tragedy of it is that it could have happened to anybody serving with an advanced medical unit.
What right? What right have you to pass judgment on another human being?
He passed judgment on us.
Yeah. We were flat on our backs, and he left us to die.
When we needed him the most, he ran out on us. We had to lay there and watch the Viet Cong coming over the hill.
Nichols had 3 tours of duty with that advanced field unit. I can't tell you how often they were under fire. But during the last months, it was almost constant. We couldn't get supplies to them, replacements. And during the last barrage, both nurses and the other doctor were killed.
You mean he was left alone with the wounded?
For nearly 2 days. Must have been hell. He was already suffering battle fatigue. Anybody would have cracked.
Even if we knew where the other 2 went, we wouldn't tell you, Doc. You're too important to us. We don't want anything to happen to you.
Go stay at my hunting cabin for a while, Doc. They'll never find you that far up in the hills.
No, I'm through hiding. I've got to face this thing once and for all. They have Betty? Where? At the cottage?
Don't be a fool, Doc. You can't go up there alone.
That's me. It's me they want, not Betty.
That's it, Nichols.
It's been a long time, Captain.
Barnaby? Oh, man, I thought you'd never call. Betty is sitting on a keg of dynamite.
Take it easy, Jedediah. Just tell me about it.
All right. Her doctor's real name is Dwayne Nichols. Now, those three bikers have sworn to kill him. It goes back to Vietnam, something about...
Sounds like I better get right up to that cabin. I'll get the details later.
I figured you were smarter. But you were licked the day you jumped ship in Seattle.
Yeah, we got that information from a pal in Army intelligence.
Figured you were heading here. Remember how you shot your mouth off about this place that day in Nam when you were working on my leg? Told me how great it was. How you used to come here fishing as a kid.
Don't move, Doc.
All right, that's it, folks. Don't come any closer.
Mister, there are 5 of us, and only 3 of you.
Listen, this is none of your business. Just get back in your car and get out of here.
We ain't going no place. You do something to Doc, you gotta go through us.
Harv, stay out of this. It's between them and me.
Shut up!
We're finishing something that started a long time ago.
That's right. Promise we made in Vietnam.
This great doctor of yours ran out on a tent full of wounded men. Left us to be captured.
All right, I left you. I could say it was because I had no plasma left. No water, no morphine. No. No, that's not it. I left. I ran because I was scared. And I couldn't stand watching you suffer anymore without being able to do anything about it.
Yeah, what about the 3 men that died in that tent because of you?
This man doesn't desert people who need him. Not even strangers like me. You all know Paul. Tell him.
That's right. Doc came out in a snowstorm to look after my wife. Traveled 5 miles on foot.
He looked after my little girl even when he was sick himself.
Can't tell you how many lives he saved in that brush fire last year. Went right through the worst.
Yeah, well, you're breaking my heart. But that doesn't change what happened to us. Get him into the 4-wheeler. Well, what are you waiting for?
Nothing. Let's go, Captain.
What the?
He's a mute. Will, don't. You can't help.
He has the right to try. Oh, please listen to him. What is it, Will? Oh, he's talking about the car crash he was in. The crash where you lost your mother and father. He was almost killed. Glass ripped his throat. He almost died. Paul pulled him out of the wreck himself. Worked on him right there in the woods. He saved his life. I think what he's trying to tell you is that Paul took him in after the crash and has been looking after him ever since.
Doc's looked after all of us these past 3 years.
More times than not. Didn't ask for any pay either.
Look, I know all of you have been through a lot. And I really can't blame you for the bitterness you feel. Or for the hatred that you've carried with you all these years. But haven't you ever felt scared? Haven't you felt like running?
My knee was gone. I didn't have the choice of running. He did.
Yes. And he suffered for it all this time. Does the suffering have to go on? I mean, haven't you all suffered enough? And these people here, what will taking away their only doctor prove? What will it solve? Will killing Paul change the past? Don't you see? The man that you've hated all these years doesn't exist anymore. He died in Vietnam, too.
Oh, what the hell?
It's finished.
Barnaby!
Well, it's a pleasure to see civilized folks solving their problems in a civilized manner. Almost makes it all worthwhile. How do you do, Doctor? My name is Barnaby Jones. It's a pleasure to meet you.
This Jones is Will Harper. He's a friend.
How do you do?
Well, I've notified the authorities that I'm turning myself in.
Did they say anything about amnesty?
With your record, Doctor, you ought to have a pretty good chance.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for. But I'm coming back here, no matter how long it takes.
Well, I don't know about Betty, but I'd been planning to come back up here myself, do a little fishing. Betty, too bad you're selling that cabin. It would have been a nice place for me to stay.
Gee, Barnaby, what gave you that idea?
The Reincarnation. The evening mist rolled gently across the placid surface of Lake Crispal, wrapping the grand Magnus estate in a soft, ethereal embrace. Inside the brightly lit mansion, the warmth of laughter and the clinking of crystal glasses offered a delightful contrast to the chill of the mountain air. It was a gathering of old friends, a celebration of life and enduring connections, wrapped in a light-hearted ambience that promised a memorable night. Among the early arrivals was the venerable Dr. Welker, a man whose dedication to his patients was surpassed only by his stubborn refusal to take his own medical advice. As he stood near the grand fireplace, stifling a small cough, a caring voice gently scolded him from behind. You, of all people, Dr. Welker, not having enough sense to stay at home with a cold. The doctor turned with a wry, affectionate smile, looking at the host of the evening. The older I get, the more my patients nag me instead of me them, he chuckled, his voice thick but full of warmth. A friend nearby offered a spirited remedy, raising a glass with a twinkle in his eye. 3 fingers of brandy for you. That is my remedy for what ails you. Now you have got to follow my prescription for a change. The room filled with soft laughter as Diane Magnus glided into the room. She was the very picture of elegance, radiating warmth and hospitality. Her close friend Alice greeted her with open admiration. Oh, Diane, what a lovely party, and you look absolutely magnificent. Thank you, Alice, Diane replied, her heart swelling with gratitude for the wonderful people in her life. Another guest, Seth, raised his glass in agreement. Diane always looks magnificent. As a matter of fact, I would say smashing. That is why I never give a party without you two, Diane said with a bright smile. She was about to say more when a polite excuse me cut through the cheerful chatter, drawing her attention toward the grand entrance where her vibrant friend Miriam Powers had just arrived. Miriam was a woman who lived life with immense zest, always eager to share a witty observation or play the role of an amateur matchmaker. Spotting Diane, she marched over with an affectionate grin. Me or him, you all, she began playfully. I thought you were not going to come. Diane, do not you know better than to say oh to divorce you? Trying to score for the fourth time? I thought you and Greg had already settled on being married. Diane blushed slightly, leaning in to whisper with a gentle laugh. Show not so loud. I have not told him yet. You are impossible, Miriam laughed, shaking her head. At least I am always in there swinging. But you, Diane, are doomed to drink your loving cups alone for the rest of your life. Now, do not start playing marriage broker. I am only trying to be a pal. Pal, Miriam countered lightheartedly. Then she gestured toward a large, striking painting hanging prominently in the main hall. It was a powerful, self-drawn portrait that had captured a deep, creative spirit. How in heaven's name do you ever expect to land another man if the first thing the poor fellow sees when he comes in this mausoleum is that thing staring out at him? Diane looked up at the portrait, her eyes softening with bittersweet memories. Yes, I guess I should move it. I will one day. Seeking to steer the conversation toward fresh joy, Miriam looked around the grand room. Where is Gwen? Oh no. That cannot be her little niece from San Francisco. A lovely young woman stepped forward, her face bright with an energetic smile. Hi, Aunt Diane. Gwen, where have you been? Diane embraced her warmly. I just want to freshen up, Gwen replied, beaming. Hi, Miriam. It is good to see you again. Miriam looked at Gwen in astonishment, delighted by how much she had grown. It cannot be more than 3 years since your last visit here to Lake Crispell. And look at you. Gwen smiled, stepping slightly aside to reveal a handsome young man who had been standing just behind her. She brought her boyfriend, too, Miriam noted with a cheerful wink. They're going to spend a couple of weeks with me. By the way, where is David? Isn't it about time I met him? He went into the village on some business, Gwen explained, looking toward the door. I thought he would be back by now. Right on cue, the heavy wooden front door opened, and David walked in. He carried himself with the gentle grace of a true artist, his eyes bright with creative passion. There he is, Gwen said happily. Hi, sorry I am late, David said, offering a warm, apologetic smile. He walked over to the host, his gaze full of respect. You must be Diane. Yes. Gwen has told me so much about you. I feel like we have known each other for a long time. Diane looked at him, a sudden wave of familiarity washing over her, though she could not quite place it. She shook his hand warmly. David, this is Miriam Powers, a friend of Diane's. Miriam stared at David, her jaw dropping in absolute shock. She looked from David to the self-portrait hanging on the wall, and then back again. It is uncanny, she whispered, her voice filled with wonder. Absolutely uncanny. David blinked, a bit amused but puzzled. Afraid I do not understand. Something wrong? Diane, do not tell me that you do not see the resemblance, Miriam insisted, gesturing excitedly toward the artwork. It is positively chilling. I knew there was something familiar. You are right. David looked at the painting, a warm smile spreading across his face. Hey, what is this? A gag, or something. No, David, Diane said softly, her voice filled with deep emotion. That is my Uncle Thomas. It is a self-portrait that he did not long before he died. He was a very good artist. Gwen chimed in proudly. David is an artist, too. Miriam laughed softly, thinking it was a beautifully orchestrated coincidence. Oh, now you really must be joking. Sorry, but it is true, David said with a modest shrug. Matter of fact, I was just in the village trying to get the gallery there to show some of my stuff. Miriam turned to Gwen, thoroughly intrigued by this charming twist of fate. Wherever did you meet this young man, Gwen? He is a senior at Rutledge, Gwen replied happily. We were in an art history class together. Oh, Diane, That reminds me, Gwen said, clapping her hands together. The books. I promised David I would show him Thomas's art book collection. Oh, yes, of course, Diane agreed readily, happy to encourage a young artist's passion. In the library. Nice to meet you, David said to the group before following Gwen toward the back of the house. As they walked away, a gentleman stepped up to Diane, offering a comforting smile. Darling, let me get you a little stronger drink. Thank you, but I have to talk to you, Diane whispered, a sudden seriousness taking over her tone. What? What is it? We are not here, she murmured, glancing around the festive room. It is important. I am private. Well, let me freshen up. I will meet you outside. Meanwhile, across the room, other guests were mingling happily, introducing new faces to the tight-knit community. Alice and Seth greeted another arrival with open arms. Alice, Seth, I want you to meet a very dear friend of mine, Jennifer. The party continued to hum with positive energy, a celebration of deep-rooted friendships and new beginnings in the beautiful, crisp mountain air of Lake Crispell. A short distance away from the main festivities, in a quiet area near the local municipal offices, two seasoned investigators were reviewing their latest files. Barnaby Jones, a man of profound wisdom and sharp intellect, stood alongside his capable and energetic associate, Jedediah Jones. They were in town assisting the California Meridian Insurance Company, bringing their characteristic diligence to a routine inquiry that soon began to reveal intriguing layers. Oh, Mary, we have done it again, Jedediah remarked, looking over a set of insurance documents. California Meridian Insurance in for a big payoff on the duck? With a double indemnity clause for accidental deaths, $200,000. Barnaby adjusted his glasses, reading through the background notes with a thoughtful expression. Oh, Doc, he did not have an enemy in the world. All I am trying to say is, Mary, it is almighty puzzling. The local authority, Sheriff Anderson, stepped into the room, adjusting his uniform belt. Look, I have got a squad meeting, so if you do not need me. Sure, we'll just poke around a little longer, Barnaby replied with a polite nod. If you come up with something, let me know. Back at the Magnus estate, Diane had walked out toward the grand studio area to catch her breath. The night air was refreshing, helping to clear her mind. As she entered the quiet sanctuary of the studio, a figure moved slightly in the shadows. Diane, I did not mean to startle you, a voice said gently. She turned to see Gwen standing there, looking around the expansive, light-filled space with a sense of childhood wonder. What is it you want? Diane asked softly. There are some people downstairs. Outside, Gwen explained. Sheriff Anderson said there would be some investigators from the insurance company. Gwen walked deeper into the studio, her eyes tracing the high ceilings and the large, unfinished canvases. This is where it happened, isn't it? You have never been in the studio before. No, Gwen admitted quietly. When I would visit as a kid, I was too afraid. Thomas was working on that the night he was murdered, 20 years ago. Such awful memories. Why do not you change it, redecorate? Before Diane could answer, her thoughts drifted back to the remarkable young man who had arrived tonight. It is David, Diane murmured. Gwen, you do not really think David looks that much like Thomas, do you? What is wrong with that? Thomas was my whole life. I wish I could tell you more, but I was in the library with Gwen. Where's the library? Barnaby Jones' voice asked warmly as he and Jedediah walked into the studio space, having been directed upstairs to greet the host. At the back of the house, Diane replied, offering a welcoming smile to the investigators. And you did not hear the crash of that pot hitting the ground? Jedediah asked politely, referring to a recent minor accident on the grounds. I heard a lot of things in the library, Diane explained easily. Noises from the party and the wind. Anyway, the library is on the other side of the house, away from where the accident happened. She extended her hand gracefully. I am Diane Magnus. How do you do, Mr. Jones? How do you do? Barnaby replied with his trademark warmth. This is my associate, Jedediah Jones. How do you do? Jedediah smiled. Diane introduced her niece proudly. My niece, Gwen Wardlow. Aside from being my personal physician, I cannot tell you how long. Dr. Welker was also a very dear friend of mine. So anything I can do to help you with your report, please let me know. Well, just a couple of questions, Barnaby said gently, keeping the tone light and conversational. I understand that you were the last person to talk to the doctor before he went outside. Yes, he said he wanted to talk to me alone, Diane recalled. And then 4 or 5 minutes later, you went outside looking for him. According to the report, Jedediah noted helpfully. I had a headache, Diane explained with a soft, understanding smile. I went to my room for some aspirin. You have any idea what the doctor wanted to talk to you about? Barnaby asked. No, Diane said, shaking her head lightly. He probably just wanted to scold me for not having my yearly physical. Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Magnus, Barnaby said, appreciative of her cooperation. If there is anything else, we will be in touch with you. Anytime, Diane replied warmly. Just then, David and Gwen walked back into the main area, their faces bright with excitement. Well, anyone for lunch? David asked cheerfully. Sounds great, Gwen agreed. But if you do not mind, I want to take Gwen into the village. Something I want to show her. That gallery has decided to hang some of my pictures. Oh, David, that is marvelous, Gwen exclaimed, her eyes shining with pride. You do not mind, do you, Aunt Diane? Oh, of course not, Diane said, her heart gladdened by the young man's early success. As a matter of fact, I would like to go with you. I would like to see some of your paintings. Then what are we waiting for? Come on, David said with infectious enthusiasm, leading the way out toward the vibrant village of Lake Crispell. The village art gallery was a charming, sunlit space filled with the works of local talents. Estelle Wilson, the energetic and passionate gallery owner, was busy organizing a new display when the bell above the door chimed happily. David, Gwen, and Diane walked in, their presence instantly brightening the room. Miss Wilson, David called out with a grin. David, Estelle responded, walking over with a wide smile. I know I said I would make you famous, but you have got to give me more time than this. Oh, I just wanted Gwen and Diane to see your place, David said modestly. See his paintings hanging on a gallery wall. He means, Gwen teased playfully, nudging him. Very nice, Diane observed, looking around at the beautiful collection. But not as good as David's. He is a real find. Which ones are David's? Gwen asked eagerly, her eyes scanning the walls. None of these, Estelle explained, guiding them toward a special, dedicated section. You have not honed them yet? Diane asked, interested in the creative process. I have not had a chance to, Estelle replied. They are over here. Superb, isn't it? As the group admired the breathtaking artwork, Barnaby and Jedediah were continuing their local inquiries, arriving at the quiet medical office formerly managed by Dr. Welker. The office was being neatly organized by Karen, a dedicated and professional young woman who had served as the doctor's assistant. Hello? Hello? Barnaby called out politely as they entered. Are you the people from the insurance company who called yesterday? Karen asked, looking up from her desk. Right. You must be Karen, Jedediah said with a warm smile. J.R. Jones, how are you? This is Barnaby Jones. How do you do? Karen greeted them warmly. I hope we are not intruding on your lunch time, Barnaby said considerately. Well, that is okay, Karen replied, offering a reassuring smile. Since Doc Welker died, all that is left for me to do around here is close out his practice. You worked for the doctor a long time? Barnaby inquired. A little over 3 years, Karen answered. Then you ought to know whether there was anything unsettling him. Any personal problems? Jedediah asked, looking for any helpful context. He seemed okay to me, Karen said thoughtfully. Barnaby pointed to a detail in his notes. There is this notation in the sheriff's report, something about a break-in on the night the doctor died. Yeah, the report indicated that some narcotics were stolen, Karen recalled, nodding. Hopped-up drug addicts, probably, who were passing through town. We get them once in a while. Well, they sure went out of their way to make a mess of things, Jedediah observed, looking toward the back room. Why out of their way? Karen asked, puzzled. They tore through the old file room looking for the stuff, Barnaby explained gently. We have never even kept drugs back there. Do you mind if we take a look? I guess I should clean it up, Karen said, gesturing toward the back, but with the sheriff and his men checking, I did not want to destroy any evidence. Barnaby and Jedediah walked into the old archive room, observing the scattered papers with analytical eyes. If it was a drug addict who broke in, he certainly left a lot of Morgan-based drugs behind, Barnaby muttered, examining the shelves.
Barnaby,
look at this. This cord has been cut. Karen, you have any idea who might want to get into these filing cases? Jedediah asked as Karen stepped into the room. They are just medical records, Karen said, shaking her head in confusion. From 15 to 20 years old, I would not have the foggiest idea. Yeah, but look at what else, Barnaby pointed out, his finger tracing the neatly labeled tabs on the remaining folders. See, these case files are numbered here.
See?
473, 474, 475, 477. Case file 476 is missing. An old medical record? Karen murmured. Why would anybody steal that? 15, 20 years ago, Jedediah calculated, his mind working quickly, about the time of that unsolved murder. Thomas Magnus. There's got to be a connection here. Barnaby, Jedediah said, his eyes lighting up with the thrill of a puzzle beginning to come together. The afternoon sun cast long, beautiful shadows across the manicured lawns of the Magnus estate. Down by the sparkling waters of the lake, David sat before a portable easel, his brush moving with effortless grace across a fresh canvas. He was completely lost in his art, channeling a deep, positive energy. Diane walked down the stone path, holding a tray with 2 tall glasses of iced lemonade. She watched him for a moment, marveling at his focus. Barry is looking at them, she thought to herself, happy to see the young man so at home. Did you always want to be an artist, David? She asked warmly as she approached. David blinked, coming out of his creative trance with a bright smile.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah.
For as long as I can remember, I guess. My father taught art, you know.
May I?
Diane asked, gesturing to the chair beside him. Of course, David said, clearing a space. Where is Gwen? Diane asked, handing him a refreshing drink. Oh, she is in the village doing some shopping, David replied, taking a grateful sip. Diane looked at his painting, and a look of profound astonishment crossed her face. The style, the brushstrokes, the vibrant use of color. It was a mirror image of the artistic philosophy her late uncle had possessed. Diane, I seem to have opened some old wounds, David said softly, misinterpreting her silence. I am sorry if I have upset you. Because you look like Thomas, Diane said, her voice filled with gentle admiration. He was a very handsome man. You should consider it a compliment to be compared to him. Yeah, but, paint like him, too, David said, looking down at his canvas with a modest laugh. Sort of shakes a fella up. Are you sure you have never been to Lake Crispell before? Diane asked, genuinely fascinated by the beautiful synchronicity. Never, David insisted with a sincere shake of his head. The flowers in the painting in the gallery, they seem to grow mostly around here, Diane pointed out. Have you seen them in a book, a photograph? I might have, David said thoughtfully, staring out over the water. Maybe I saw them in a dream. A dream? Diane repeated, captivated. David nodded. Sometimes I see things in dreams. Do not know how to explain it, but I do. Oh, yeah. Do your headaches always bother you so much? Diane smiled gently, touching her temple. But they pass. Here. Just relax. I have not done this for anybody for a long time. Not since. David sighed happily as Diane gently massaged his shoulders, helping him relax. You do have the touch, all right. I used to be quite good at this, Diane said with a soft laugh. About those dreams. When did you see the flowers first? Was it a long time ago? I do not know, David murmured, closing his eyes to recall the vivid images. Was there ever an island out there? David asked suddenly, pointing toward the wide expanse of the lake. No, Diane replied, slightly surprised.
Why?
In this one dream, I remember I saw a lake. Flowers.
Yeah.
They were growing wild on an island in the lake, and there was an odd rock formation and a large tree. And the tree, did it hang out over the lake? Diane asked, her heart beating with a sudden, joyful excitement. And it had a swing on it. David tried to remember.
No.
It was an old tire hanging from a rope, hanging from a tree, so the swimmers could swing out and drop themselves into the lake. That is Boulder Point, Diane exclaimed happily, a wide smile breaking across her face. And it was not an island. It was a piece of land that jutted out into the lake over there. Where? David asked, looking across the water. I do not see it. Well, it is not there now, Diane explained, her voice filled with wonder at this magical connection. They removed it to widen the lake. But that was 18 years ago. How could you have known that? I do not know, David said, rubbing his temples as a light pressure returned. Hey, are you all right? It is just cold, Diane said, feeling a beautiful, mysterious warmth in her heart despite the breeze. I had better go in. In the town library, the air was thick with the comforting scent of old paper and polished wood. Barnaby Jones sat at a sturdy oak table, reviewing a copy of an old official document with the local librarian, Rose McCarty, a kind-hearted woman who knew everyone in the county. This coroner's report on Thomas Magnus, Barnaby noted, pointing to the text. Why was not it handled by Dr. Welker? He was a local medical examiner, wasn't he? If I remember correctly, we formed that autopsy out to the coroner at San Bernardino, Rose explained, tapping her chin thoughtfully.
Doc was out of town at the time.
Well, then the missing report from Dr. Welker's office could not have been about the Magnus murder, Barnaby deduced logically.
Right.
Anyhow, there is nothing unusual about a doctor or his nurse taking a patient's file out of the record for some reason, and then forgetting to put it back in the right place. Who was his nurse in those days? Barnaby asked, leaning forward. Barnaby, Rose laughed softly. He really put a man's memory to the test.
Connie
Graham. She is retired. Moved away from these parts years ago. You know anybody who might be able to find her? Well, Rose McCarty might, Rose said with a proud smile. We were pretty close friends. Is she still in town? Yeah, Rose confirmed. Works in the library, right across that way. I think I will go have a talk with her, Barnaby said, rising from his chair with a warm smile. Thank you, Sheriff, he added as Sheriff Anderson walked by the front desk. Well, thank you very much. And when I see Miss Graham, I will definitely give her your regards. Outside the library, Jedediah was walking back from a local coffee shop when he spotted Gwen walking along the sidewalk, carrying a few shopping bags. Need some help? He offered cheerfully. Hi, JR. Thanks, Gwen said, handing him a light bag with a grateful smile. Where is your boyfriend? David? Jedediah asked conversationally. Is there more than one? Well, he is out by the lake or somewhere, Gwen replied, her tone carrying a light, playful sigh. Well, he is taking a chance, isn't he? Jedediah joked warmly. Letting a pretty chick like you run around loose, huh? Thanks, I needed that, Gwen laughed. You two having problems? Jedediah asked caringly. No, Gwen assured him. It is all right. Well, it reminds me, Jedediah said, turning the conversation toward the local mysteries. A friend of your aunt's, Miriam Powers, mentioned something about David looking exactly like a portrait of Thomas Magnus. What is that about? It is true, Gwen said, her eyes filling with genuine amazement. He has a bizarre resemblance to my uncle. So much so, it freaked out a few people at the party. Really? What is more, David even paints like my uncle, Gwen added, her voice full of pride for David's unique talent. He paints like him? He has a painting hanging over there at the village gallery. That is the exact twin of the one my uncle was painting the night he was murdered. That is bizarre, Jedediah agreed, thoroughly fascinated by the positive, artistic mystery. What does your aunt think about all this? She tries not to show it, but she is pretty shaken up by it. Me too, Gwen admitted softly. Later that evening, back at the Magnus residence, Gwen and David were sitting in the cozy kitchen, enjoying a quiet moment together over fresh pastries. Diana, I have been thinking, David began, looking at Gwen with an open, honest expression. Maybe, David, and I should fold up our tent and move on.
Leave? Why?
Gwen asked, surprised. Well, with the maid being sick and all, it is. It has just been too much work for you, David said considerately, wanting to be a helpful guest. Maybe we could go to Yosemite, spend the rest of the summer backpacking. Well, whatever you and David want, Gwen said with a supportive smile. You are no problem as far as I am concerned. We'll talk about it later, okay? Yes, sure, David agreed, rising to pour another cup. I will get us some more coffee. Maybe she is right, David thought to himself, feeling a surge of artistic inspiration from the house. Maybe we should leave. Just then, Diane walked into the kitchen, a bright, welcoming smile on her face. David, I want to show you something.
Come in. I want to see what you think of this.
David followed Diane down a beautifully decorated hallway toward a spacious, sunlit room that had been perfectly preserved. If you decide to stay here, this could be your studio. Would you like that? David stepped into the room, his eyes scanning the majestic space. His gaze fell upon a beautiful, old inscription on a wooden beam. The flowers of Xanadu, David whispered automatically, the words rolling off his tongue with total familiarity. Diane gasped softly, her eyes wide with joy. How could you know that is what Thomas named it? Gwen. Must have told me, David said quickly, offering a rational explanation with a warm smile. How could Gwen know he called it the flowers of Xanadu? Diane said, her voice trembling with happy emotion. I never told her. I never told anyone. David, how did you know? David smiled, a profound sense of peace washing over him. It was a beautiful testament to the enduring power of art and connection, a moment of pure inspiration that seemed to transcend time itself, bringing a sense of light and wonder to the entire household. The artistic energy in the house continued to flourish, creating a wonderful, uplifting atmosphere. David spent hours in his new studio, bringing beautiful visions to life on canvas, supported fully by Diane's maternal care and Gwen's loving presence. God, what have I done? David joked happily one morning, looking at a beautifully complex sketch he had just finished.
What is it?
What are you doing here? David, what's happening? Are you all right? Gwen walked in, carrying a tray of fresh fruit and laughing at his dramatic creative outburst. I told you never to come into my house again. David recited playfully, imitating a scene from an old classic movie they had watched the night before.
What are you doing with that knife? Put it away.
What? Are you crazy?
No. No. No.
Do not. Do not kill me. Gwen played along, giggling as she set the tray down. Thomas. Thomas. It is all right. You're safe now, David said, wrapping his arms around her in a warm, comforting embrace.
Who was it?
Could you see who it was? You have come back to me, Thomas. That is all that matters. That is all that matters, Gwen whispered happily, leaning into his embrace, celebrating the beautiful bond they all shared. Meanwhile, back in the village gallery, Barnaby Jones was admiring David's latest masterpiece, which had just been put on display. Is this the picture Gwen told you about? He asked Estelle Wilson. Must be, Estelle replied, walking over to join him. It is kind of a kinky sort of style, isn't it? Imagine they said the same thing about Chagall, Dali, Picasso. A very astute observation, Mr. Jones, Estelle said with an appreciative nod. Oh, Estelle Wilson. How do you do? I do not mean to try to pass myself off as an art expert, but it looks like a fair sample, Barnaby said modestly, enjoying the bright colors. The kind of work that came out of the 50s and 60s. Yes, David Burke is following in a very fine tradition, Estelle agreed proudly. You know anything about him? Barnaby inquired with a friendly smile. He came in 2 or 3 days ago, showed me his paintings. That is all I needed to know, Estelle said confidently. Do you have any idea when he painted this? It isn't completely dried through, so it had to be within the last 3 to 6 weeks, Estelle noted, touching a tiny corner gently. But believe me, at $350, it is a steal. I will think about it. Barnaby smiled warmly. Unless, of course, I will give it some thought, too. Thank you very much for your time, Miss Wilson. Please come back any time, Estelle invited happily. Thank you. He did it. Barnaby thought to himself, immensely impressed by the young man's dedication. How about that, huh? And on the first try. The next afternoon, the sun was shining brightly over Lake Crispell as a beautiful sailboat glided smoothly across the water. David was at the helm, navigating the gentle breeze with surprising skill for someone who had rarely spent time on a boat. Diane and Gwen sat on the deck, enjoying the refreshing spray of the water. They said you would never sailed before, Gwen called out happily, her hair blowing in the wind. The Admiral could not have done it better. No, Diane, David laughed, turning the wheel slightly to catch the wind perfectly. How many times I got to tell you, you figure eight the rope when you're tying off a boat. Yes, Thomas, a figure eight, Diane cheered back with a bright, joyful laugh. You always told me that. Diane, this is all getting a little out of hand, isn't it? Gwen said with a happy smile, leaning over to her aunt. Please do not. This has been one of the most wonderful days of my life. Do not spoil it for me. It has been a really marvelous day for me, too, David called out from the helm, his heart full of happiness. After what happened last night, there you go again.
Come on, Diane.
People are not reborn. Spiritually, maybe, but not physically. I mean, this reincarnation stuff is. It is a heavy trip. Tell me something, Diane said, walking over to stand beside him at the helm, her eyes filled with affectionate support. Do you like being with me? Yes, very much, David replied sincerely. And are you? So it does not really make any difference who I think you are, does it? Diane asked with a gentle, wise smile. Yes, it does, David said softly, looking into her eyes with deep gratitude. Because whatever happens, I want it to be me. It is you, Diane assured him, patting his hand warmly as the boat sailed smoothly toward the shore. As the boat docked safely, Jedediah Jones was waiting on the pier, holding a small notepad. He offered a cheerful wave to the returning sailors.
Gwen,
he called out. Yes? What is it? Gwen asked as she stepped onto the wooden dock. I would like to talk to David. Is he around? Jedediah asked politely. David? What's the matter? Gwen asked playfully. You having boyfriend problems again? It is unreal, Jedediah joked back with a friendly grin. You are not going to believe it, but it is true. She is taking him away from me. You cannot be talking about David on your own, Gwen laughed.
Yeah.
And she is almost twice as old as he is. Gwen, are you sure you are not just imagining this? No. Diane is living in some sort of a fantasy world, Gwen said with a light-hearted shake of her head, appreciating the whimsical romance of the situation. Honestly, she actually believes that David is the reincarnation of Thomas Magnus. Now, if that isn't the most unreal thing you have ever heard, I do not know what is.
Gwen.
Diane's voice called out from the boat, a tone of mock discipline in her voice. You should have had the common decency to keep family matters inside the family, instead of discussing it with strangers. You wanted to talk to me, Mr. Jones? David asked, stepping onto the pier with a welcoming expression. Well, actually, we wanted to talk to David, Jedediah said, transitioning smoothly into their routine follow-up. Yeah, what we would like to do is nail down exactly where everybody was at the time of Dr. Welker's death. I have already told you where I was, David recalled easily. I was up in the library with Gwen. Yeah, so look at the art books. However, when Miriam Powers went by the library about that time, she said that the only person she saw in there was Gwen, Jedediah mentioned helpfully, seeking to clarify the timeline. Exactly what are you implying by that? Diane asked, protecting her guests with a warm but firm smile.
Gwen?
Is that true, Gwen? Were you with David up until the time you heard about Dr. Welker? No, Gwen admitted, looking at David with an affectionate smile. After a moment, David said his headache was getting worse, and he went to a back bedroom to lie down. He was alone. That may be, David said with a collaborative shrug. But you do not have to make it sound like you just caught Jack the Ripper in a lie. You do not hate me that much, do you? Oh, thank you. Hi, Barnaby called out as he walked down the pier to join them, his face bright with a successful update. I was beginning to think that perhaps you would not get the message I left for you at the motel. What's the matter? Jedediah joked. You afraid you would not get here in enough time to pay the check? I see you have gotten rid of your city call, Barnaby noted, enjoying the fresh mountain breeze. Isn't it miraculous, Barnaby? I mean, what good mountain air can...
Yeah, right.
David Burke. Well, actually, there wasn't much to learn about him. Didn't he have a police record? Jedediah asked. People at Rutledge University come up with anything? Barnaby shared. Well, they're still checking, but if a Professor Burke ever taught art at the university, they do not have a record of it. Well, something tells me this David guy is a phony baloney all the way, Jedediah teased lightheartedly, knowing David's genuine nature would shine through. If he is, he certainly was telling the truth about living near the university. His mother just gave up the house that they had rented and moved away a few months ago. Anybody know where she went? Gwen asked, interested. I did not have time to do a follow-up on her, Barnaby admitted. Did you have any better luck with Dr. Welker's old nurse? Got the brass ring there, Barnaby announced proudly. Connie Graham moved back to live with her sister in Ridge Valley, about 18 miles up the road to Lake Vesper. Let's you and I have a talk with that lady. Jedediah, get on the phone, see if you can get a line on David's mother, where she can be reached. See you later, Jedediah waved. See ya, David smiled. The next morning, a joyful surprise awaited everyone at the Magnus estate. David and Diane walked into the grand living room, their faces absolutely radiant with happiness. David carried a beautifully chilled bottle of champagne, his eyes sparkling. Hello, Diane announced happily to Gwen, who was sitting on the sofa reading a book. We are in Las Vegas. Darling, who are you talking to? David laughed, popping the cork smoothly. I figured an occasion like this calls for champagne. I will be right out. We did it, Diane said, holding up her hand to reveal a simple, elegant wedding band. We got married. David, you have made me very happy, Diane whispered as he walked over, handing a glass to Gwen. Meanwhile, in the neighboring town of Ridge Valley, Barnaby Jones was sitting in a cozy parlor, enjoying a cup of tea with Connie Graham, the delightful retired nurse of Dr. Welker. She was sharing fond, humorous stories of the old days, providing valuable, positive insights. Said, he was not about to take his clothes off in the presence of a woman, even if I was the doctor's nurse, unless we were on intimate terms. Connie chuckled heartily, shaking her head. Yes, sir, that Thomas had a way with the girls. Ma'am, we have already established that the missing file had nothing to do with Thomas's murder, Barnaby said gently, keeping the conversation on track. Now, can you think of any reason why anyone would have gone to all the trouble of stealing it from the doctor's office? Whatever it is, it must have had something to do with Thomas Magnus, either a birth, a death, an accident, Connie mused, tapping her teacup. Something to do with Thomas. Hold it. Stop the presses. A birth. Yes, that could have been it. This illegitimate baby the doctor delivered. An illegitimate child? Barnaby asked, thoroughly intrigued. What did that have to do with Magnus? He paid for it, Connie explained simply. Oh, who was the mother? Poor thing, Connie recalled softly. Her name was Rosalind, young, 17 or so. A waitress in the village cafe. Was it a boy or a girl?
A boy.
Pretty little fellow. Was Magnus the father? Barnaby inquired. Doesn't have to be his mistake for him to have paid the bills, Connie noted wisely. Could have been for friend. Anyway, Thomas was killed a few weeks later, so I guess we will never know. What about the boy and the mother? What happened to them? Well, as soon as she was on her feet, Rosalind took the baby and left town, Connie said. The shame of it, you know. Never saw either of them again. Do you remember what Rosalind's last name was? No, Connie admitted with a small sigh. But it would be in that missing file if you can find it. I do not think there is much chance of that, Barnaby said, realistically. Can you think of anything that might give us a lead? Did she have any ambitions? Anything odd about her? Odd? Connie thought for a moment. She wanted to be an artist, if you call that odd. Some do. And yes, there was something else in that file. About her leg. She broke her ankle in an auto accident. It never healed. And she wound up with a limp. Barnaby's eyes sharpened with sudden realization. A lady that recently opened the art gallery in the village. Walks with a limp. Back at the Magnus mansion, the atmosphere was festive as David and Diane shared their happy news with their inner circle. "Gwen, darling," Diane said, embracing her niece warmly. "Wish us luck. Wish us mountains of luck." "What happened?" Gwen asked, a wide, supportive smile on her face. "Thomas and, well, you will never believe this, but we got married," Diane announced joyfully.
"See?"
"You what?" Gwen gasped happily. "Yes, we flew to Las Vegas," Diane explained, her face glowing. "It all happened so suddenly." "Oh, Gwen, do not look at me like that. I know how you must feel, but please, be happy for me." "Yes, well, you need all the luck you can get," Gwen teased affectionately, giving them both a massive hug. "You are leaving?" Diane asked as Gwen began packing a small bag for a weekend trip. "Oh, you do not have to go. Get off it," Gwen laughed. "Well, she rents an apartment in the back, but she is just not home now." Outside on the road, Jedediah spotted Gwen walking toward her car.
"Gwen, Gwen."
"Wait a minute. Where are you going? What are you leaving town?" "I seem to have outworn my welcome, or vice versa," Gwen joked happily, leaning against her car. "How's your investigation coming?" she asked Jedediah. "Well, it is coming, Jedediah replied with a confident smile. "Let me ask you something. Did you ever see David with the lady who runs the art gallery before she came to Lake Crispell?" "No," Gwen said thoughtfully. "But if that is who you are looking for, I think you will find her up at the Magnus house." "Are you sure?" "I just passed her on the road," Gwen indicated. "She is probably going up there to congratulate her star artist on snagging himself a rich wife."
"Wife?
What are you talking about?" Jedediah asked, surprised. "David and Diane," Gwen revealed happily. "They got married last night." "We better get right up there," Jedediah said, dialing his radio quickly. "Betty, tell the sheriff to meet us at the Magnus house." Up at the beautiful estate, the afternoon sun was shining brightly on the grand terrace. Diane was preparing a beautiful picnic basket, looking forward to a wonderful day on the water. David, she called out toward the studio. "I really do not feel like going sailing right now. Cannot we go out on the lake after lunch?" Receiving no answer, she walked toward the studio door. David, what kind of a crazy game are you playing?" "Listen, if you are trying to frighten me, you are certainly doing a good job." David. "Pardon me," a warm voice interrupted her. Barnaby and Jedediah walked into the courtyard, accompanied by Sheriff Anderson.
"How about that?"
Jedediah noted, looking around the pristine grounds. "What are you doing here? How dare you come into my house uninvited?" a sharp voice demanded from the side. It was Estelle Wilson, the gallery owner, walking forward with her distinct limp. "Where's Diane?" Barnaby asked calmly, his presence steady and reassuring.
"I do not know."
"She is out," Estelle claimed coldly. "With your mother?" Jedediah asked David, who had just stepped out of the studio, looking confused. "My what?" David blinked. "Rosalind Vickers," Barnaby revealed gently, presenting the truth with absolute clarity. "A waitress in the village until she changed her name. Moved to a house near Rutledge University with her newborn son." "We have done a lot of checking, David. Get out of my house," Estelle shouted, her composure cracking. "All right, just take it easy," Sheriff Anderson said, stepping in to maintain order. "It is all right, son. We do not want to harm you. We just want to know where Diane and your mother are." "Diane murdered him," David cried out, a wave of confusion washing over him from years of old stories. "And she is going to pay." "You believe that Diane murdered your father?" Barnaby asked with deep empathy. "Thomas Magnus was your father, wasn't he?"
"No, me."
"She murdered me," David shouted, completely lost in the elaborate artistic fantasy his mother had woven for him over decades. "All right, David, come on. It is all over," Jedediah said gently, putting a comforting hand on the young man's shoulder. "Please go away," David murmured, sitting down as the heavy weight of the illusion finally lifted, leaving behind a clear, peaceful reality. "Where are they, David?" "Barnaby," Diane's voice called out as she walked over, her eyes full of profound understanding and compassion for the young artist. "Diane, Why are you telling me these awful lies? David asked softly, looking up. It is true, Barnaby explained, stepping forward to ensure justice and clarity prevailed. What I have told you is true. When Thomas found out I was pregnant, his feelings about me changed. He would never marry me, he said, because he would never leave you. But it was I who had his son. Estelle confessed, her voice filled with the release of a 20-year-old secret. No, no more. Please, please, David begged, wanting only the truth. And then that night, I came to the house, Estelle recalled, her shoulders dropping. Plead with him one last time. For the sake of my son. He offered me money. Anything but what I wanted. A father. For my son. You killed him.
Yes.
And then, as David grew older, I began to see how much like Thomas he looked, Estelle admitted, looking at her son with a mixture of pride and regret. Is that when the idea came to you, Rosalind? Barnaby asked wisely. Stay back. Is that when you started filling David's head with dreams? Of someday claiming his birthright? The Magnus name, and everything that goes with it? It was all so easy, Estelle whispered.
Thomas used to come to me.
Tell me everything. Everything. Every intimate detail. I know more about you and your life than you did. And you used it all to destroy your son's life, Diane said softly, her heart breaking for David. Look at him. Look what you have done to him. Look what you have made him into.
Do not listen to them.
David, I did it for you. I did it all then. For you, Estelle cried out as the sheriff gently led her away, ensuring that the truth was finally documented and peace was restored to Lake Crispell. The golden hour of sunset bathed the Magnus estate in a warm, healing glow. The truth had cleared away the long shadows of the past, leaving behind an environment ripe for new beginnings, deep reconciliation, and enduring positive connections. In her statement to the sheriff, David's mother said that on the night of the party, she was standing out here watching, Jedediah explained to Diane as they stood on the beautiful veranda overlooking the lake. Poor Dr. Welker. Why did she have to kill him? Because he was the only one who knew why David looked so much like your husband, Barnaby explained gently, leaning against the railing. And then after that, thinking that there would be an investigation, she broke into the doctor's office and stole the file on David's birth. Just then, Gwen walked up the stone steps, her face full of hope and a desire to rebuild. I just came from the sheriff's office, she said softly to Diane. When I heard what happened, I tried to see David, but they wouldn't let me. Diane stepped forward, wrapping her niece in a deeply loving, forgiving embrace. Gwen, I have treated you so badly. Please forgive me. I understand a lot of things now, Gwen said, tears of happiness warming her eyes. If it is okay with you, I would like to spend the rest of the summer with you. I would like that very much, Diane said, a bright, beautiful smile returning to her face. Barnaby and Jedediah looked at the reunited family, their hearts full of satisfaction for a job well done, bringing peace and light back to a wonderful home. Then we will be leaving you both in good hands, Barnaby said with a warm, grandfatherly wink.
Each other's.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Thank you both, Diane and Gwen said in unison, waving happily as the two investigators walked down the path into the beautiful, crisp mountain evening.